Hey guys, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Welcome back to my channel. So you have just watched me unwrap everything from my very first order from YOSEKA Stationery. So let's go through a more detailed unboxing of these as well as swatching the new Sailor Yurameku inks. Let's get started. First thing is this cute personalized note and sticker from YOSEKA Stationery, handwritten by Christine. I really appreciate personalized notes like this. It just helps me personalize the brand, personalize the store, and know that it is coming from a small shop where every purchase you're supporting a family and, you know, their employees. The next thing I purchased is something I've actually been looking for since I purchased my Hobonichi. These are Midori index tabs, and what I love about them is that they're small enough that they don't add too much bulk to your planner, but they stick out enough so that they are good for bookmarks and things like that. So let me just show you quickly here. They're very tiny like this, but you get 8 in a pack, and they actually just slip on to your Hobonichi paper like this. And I love how they don't add too much bulk, but they're great, very neutral bookmarks for your planner. The next thing I ordered is this Hobonichi Techo pencil board. I've been looking for one that would match my Hobonichi weeks as well as my A5. So now I have the full set of 3. So this A6, I apologize for all the unwrapping here. This A6 will fit perfectly in my 5-year journal. So I've been using this one from Jet Pens, but I wanted, well, them to match, but also I wanted to just have it slip simply into there. Great smooth pencil board. Don't have to worry about that. So the next purchase here is a fountain pen. And I know I just did a unboxing of my Pelikan 140, but I've been toying back and forth about whether or not to purchase this. I had a TWSBI Eco T, which I found a little toothy and scratchy. It was an extra fine nib, and I did a little bit of work on it, you know, cleaning the in between the tines with brass sheets and trying to work with it with micro mesh, as well as trying to work with the tines of the nib a little bit, and it was a lot smoother from when I first got it, but I ended up selling it because I just fell out of love with the whole clear demonstrator, like the whole thing clear demonstrator. So why would I go with another TWSBI? Well, I kept looking at all of the rose gold, and they came out with a new white rose gold Diamond 580. I decided not to go with that. I ended up going with the smoke rose gold. I just thought that the look of it was so much classier, and I mean, I already do. I love white rose gold, don't get me wrong, but the smoke rose gold is stunning. So it comes in this box, and it's well protected here, and in the box you also get, you know, instructions for how to use the mechanism and how to add grease to that. There's also further instructions about the filling mechanism and how to take the TWSBI apart. And this is actually one of the things I love about TWSBI, is that 1, they give you the instructions, but 2, you do have the ability to disassemble and reassemble your pen to fully clean it out. So this is the Smoke Rose Gold Diamond 580, and I got this in a fine nib. So let's remove that sticker. Take the lid off to remove any of the glare, and there it is. I'm gonna remove those pieces here. Look at that. Now the Diamond 580 is called the Diamond 580 because of all the facets on the side. It looks different than the TWSBI Eco, just even in the lid, and the way that the lid is on the TWSBI Eco. It's got more of it's a bigger lid and it's more of a round shape, whereas this one is slimmer. And I love the smoke because you can actually kind of see through it. I love the transparency of it without being too obvious, and that rose gold is absolutely gorgeous. So I got this in a fine nib, So this is in a fine nib and it is rose gold plated. And one of the things that I learned from YOSEKA Stationery is that TWSBI actually uses 3 different nib sizes. So they have a number 4 nib, which is on their TWSBI Eco and their TWSBI Go and their Swipe and their Diamond Mini, and their number 5 nib is on the Diamond 580. And from watching that YOSEKA Stationery video, I knew I wanted to get the Diamond 580 because of the slightly larger nib, but also what I've heard is that this does write slightly wetter than the number 4 nib, so I am excited to try that out. If you're not familiar with TWSBI, it is a piston filling mechanism, so there is no cartridge, there is no converter, it's a piston fill mechanism, and by twisting this at the top, push that all the way back down, and then you actually stick the nib in your ink sample or ink bottle and then turn this all the way to draw the ink up into the barrel. Now this particular pen, you can certainly post it if you want to. It doesn't go very deep onto the pen. What I'd be most afraid of though is that by taking it off, there is the possibility of twisting that piston filler, so I definitely don't want to do that. But in terms of how it fits in my hand, unposted, it fits really, really well in my hand. I definitely don't need to post that, and it's a good weight. And in terms of the actual grip here, it's not like the Eco T where you have specific places to rest your fingers, and it's just very easy for me to put my hand there. Then you have got the, what are these called again? But the area here where the cap screws on, it is I won't say it's really sharp. I mean, it's comfortable enough to rest on for a while. I don't really feel it, but it is sitting very, very comfortably in my hand. And like I said, it is a screw cap. I love that. So I'm gonna just dip this in ink and I'll show you how it writes very quickly. The ink that I'm going to test this out with today is Pilot Iroshizuku Kujiku. I love testing Pilot inks because they're fantastic. They are fantastic inks. So just a quick dip. And before I'm doing this, I did rinse it out very quickly. So just a quick dip in there. And we'll zoom in. Alright, so my first thoughts on that, it is definitely smoother than the Eco T that I had. There is a little bit of feedback in it, and I feel like it's not glassy smooth like like my Pilot Vanishing Point is. It's not a Pilot nib, absolutely not, but it is definitely a bit smoother than the TWSBI Eco T that I had. I actually do enjoy writing with it. It is wetter, and I really don't mind the width of it. I think the width is fantastic for fast writing. It does really well, no skips or hard starts, and then reverse writing, that is actually not bad for reverse writing. And then there is no flex to this pen at all, but I do not mind this pen. I think it's beautiful, and while it isn't as glassy smooth as my Pilot nibs, I think it's definitely worth exploring this pen. I'm really trying to not buy everything and not try and test. Like, I don't want to have to buy everything so quickly. I want to really connect with the pens that I buy and really enjoy the journey of fountain pens and finding what really works for me. So I absolutely love this. It's beautiful, and I can't wait to ink this up. So let's move on to the Sailor Yurameku inks. To sample the inks, what I'll be doing is actually sampling them on my Midori A6 ink journal, but then off screen I will also be doing them in my Hobonichi A6 notebook with Chimo River paper, and then I will show you the comparisons at the end. So from YOSEKA Stationery, these samples come in these cute 3 milliliter jars, and YOSEKA Stationery actually have a program where once you've ordered 10 samples of these, they will actually send you a box to be able to send these back. It's a great recycling program. I think it's fantastic. So do I want to put these in alphabetical order or just do them? I'll just do them. Okay, so basically these Sailor Yurameku inks are Sailor's newest chromo shading line, and from what I've seen, they can vary depending on what paper you use them on. So, oh, they have a little seal, which I completely appreciate. The first one that is going to be inked is Sailor Yurameku Byakuya. I apologize because I will not be able to pronounce any of these correctly. Byakuya. I don't know how I feel about this ink. I mean, look at the different colors in it already. It came down so light, and then as it dries, you can see the colors in there. There's the gray and the green and the purple and the pink. I don't know how I would use this, but it is a very pretty ink. The next one is Sailor Yurimeku Kyokuya, and this will be really interesting to see what it looks like as it goes down. They feel really light. I think this one's like a grayish green. I'm going to put a second one down here to see what the shading looks like. I love shading inks. So Sailor Yurameku. My glass pen is not working with this ink. Kyokuya. Look at that color that it's turning. Like when you first put it on the page, you don't know what to expect, and then as it dries, it's like this olive green brown color. And then the shading in there as well. When you look closer at it, the shading, there's like this brown and red and all that green. I love it. Love it. The next ink I will be doing is Sailor Yurimeku Seki. Oh, that's very light. It looks like a light pink purple. Let's see what the shading gives. But like, it's so funny how it looks on the Q-tip. Sailor Yurimeku Seki. Look at the way that that's drying. It's like a pink with green on the edges, and so interesting. I'm really trying to think of how I'm going to use these inks, because I think it would be frustrating at first at how light they go down on the page, but then once they dry, amazing. And I think they would probably go better with broader nibs. The next ink is Sailor Yurameku Kitsune Biori. And already it looks like it's brown going down. But I feel like with these inks there needs to be a disclaimer, like, not all things are as they appear. So Sailor Yurameku Kitsune Biori. It's a really pretty, like, blush pink brown. That is definitely a really interesting combination. Dusty pinky brown. I don't know what to call that. That would be a really good fall color, actually. The last Sailor Yurameku ink is Kang Yu. Ooh, and it's like a purple gray. My first thought is that it looks like Sailor Ink Studio 123. Really interested to see what that shade's like. Sailor, Yurameku, Kangyu. It looks very similar to Byakuya, oh my goodness, and reminds me of Sailor Ink Studio 123. Or what's the other one that's really similar? 224. So now just a quick comparison of what they look like on the Tomoe River paper versus the Midori paper. And I'm not seeing tons of difference as of yet, but I love Byakuya. Look at how light it goes on, but then once you add more ink, you've got that pink with that green around the edges. Really, really interesting ink, but again, I think all of these inks need to be used with a broad nib, at least. The next one, Sailor Yurimeku Kyokuya. Beautiful kind of olive green, and you can see a little bit of like pink purple undertones in the shading, but then you look at it on the Tomoe River paper, it looks purple where I put more ink. So you've got that green and then purple. So interesting. And then Seki looks pink when I write it actually, but then when I put it down with the Q-tip here, it just looks like a dusty pink with some green on the edges. But on the Tomoe River paper, there is so much more green, so much more like dark pink in here. And then on the Midori paper, the writing, I think, to me looks more dusty pink, whereas here it is a brighter pink, and it really pulls the green on the edges. And then the Sailor Yurameku Kitsune Biori, it looks pretty similar. I mean, it's kind of this like reddish brown, which I actually really like. But here, I feel like there's more green, very, very subtle green undertones in here. And then lastly, Sailor Yurimeku Kangyu. Again, it reminds me so much of Sailor Ink Studio 123 or 224, and it goes down very lightly. Here you can, even in just the initial swab, you can see a little bit of pink with blue and green and gray, and then when you put more ink down, there's more of that. It's just, these, chromo shading inks are fantastic. Let me know which one you think is your favorite and how you think you would use these. So there is my whole order from YOSEKA Stationery. So I purchased this order with my own money. This was not at all sponsored by them, and I will definitely be ordering from them in the future. It's one of the few companies that I have seen in the US that offer free shipping to Canada for orders over $90, and it shipped on May 5th and arrived here in Edmonton, Alberta on May 10th. It was so quick, so efficient, absolutely loved it. All right, but that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a great day.